All right, so hi, this is Rasa von Werder, aka Rasa von Werder, RASAVONWERDER, aka Kellie Everts, the lady who strips for God and dances to save men's souls. Look for me under womanthouartgod.com, my present work. Look for me for my biography when I was a dancer, model, actress. Kellie Everts, istripforgod.com. Look for me for my present day work under embodimentofgod.com or Kellie Everts. Oh boy, I don't remember if he put my name is Rasa von Werder or Kellie Everts. It's the William Bond, I think it's the William Bond Rasa von Werder blog. Okay, onward and upward. Kellie, it's spelled Kellie. Everts, Everts. Okay, so now I'm talking about this bogey yogi, this fake yogi. He's a con man. So now he used to come to this club. He got into my life. I was on the rebound. I was broke up with Mickey Hargitay. I was brokenhearted by James Brown. He inveigled himself into my life. I was fascinated by him because he was a hypnotist and supposedly, which he didn't, but he supposedly had mystical powers. I have mystical powers. He didn't. But he encouraged me. He encouraged me. Now, the first year or over a year we were together, but once he got in really good with me, he began to teach me all these things that nobody else would listen to him. Nobody else took him seriously in terms of following his prescriptions of being a vegetarian. He believed, let me tell you, he was a fake vegetarian. So he was I became a 100% vegan for a full year. Beyond the vegan, I was a fruitarian. A fruitarian is worse than a vegan, or as bad or worse. And I went from, I was like 136, 37 pounds to 127 pounds in that year. What I wouldn't give to be that weight now. Oh my God, I'm like 160 something. I'm over 160 now, and I'm ashamed of myself because I had, a year and a half ago, I was about 135. And just by eating normal, I think they're putting something in what they're putting something into the air, into the water, and into the food, like GMOs and nanotechnology, that is making us fat. Because I'm hardly eating anything significant. I'm eating, below average amount of food. Believe me, below average, like 2,000 calories a day at the most. And I gained 20 pounds, so you tell me what that means. Maybe slow metabolism, whatever. I don't want to belabor that. That's stupid to talk about people's weight, it's boring. But okay, so this guy, so he used to do these hypnotic demonstrations. So one day he came to the Classic Cat and he conned the owners and the managers to let him do a demonstration, and they locked the door whenever he did his bullshit. They would lock the door, and I'm trying to come in, hey, open the door, and they had it locked, in the office. A big office, big office. But what he would do is he would demonstrate how he would make people stiff as a board through hypnosis. Make them stiff as a board and put them across a table and a chair or two tables or something like that, which everybody was fascinated by. How could you make somebody's body, hard, rigid like that, but you could do stuff like that. He encouraged me, the good thing about him, I mean, nobody's all black and white. I mean, Hitler made the trains run on time. Supposedly, I heard Hitler was a vegetarian. Supposedly, he did some good deeds for the Germans, but of course he was evil as you can get. So nobody is completely black except a demon. Nobody's completely white, except an angel and somebody's already in heaven. We are all mixed with good and bad. So he wasn't 100% evil or 100% bad. He was a stumbling block. It's that he was more bad than good. But I was concentrating on what I could learn from him. And I had come to like hiatus in my life. I was depressed by being treated as a sex object, which is what you're going to be. Believe me, you're going to be in life, in general. You, this world revolves around men's wanting sex. They want sex from women. They want sex from children. They want sex from males. They want sex, 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 whatever kind of sex that they can get. They want sex. So you go to Hollywood to be a model and an actress, what's going to happen to you? You're going to be treated as a sex object. And you're young and sexy and glamorous. Yeah, you're just a sex object. So that fucked my mind so badly. That made me so depressed, even though I knew that's what my selling point. But that's not all I was. They make you believe that that's all you are, you see. So they hurt you. When people, this is when they abuse you as a child also, when they abuse you sexually. They make you feel like you're no good for anything but to give them sex, to be used by them, to be exploited, to be sacrificed. That's how they make you feel. I haven't been sexually abused, but I've been raped. I've been raped several times, date raped. Quite a few times, actually. Forced into it, made, threatened, made to do it, that's rape. That's rape. We're just knocked down and fucked, by Mr. California, and impregnated by him and had an abortion because of it. So yeah, I know what rape is. I know what it is. We all do. All women. I think 90% of all people have been sexually abused and or raped. Men and women. I really do. I believe that. Because men. I don't mean women with teenagers. I'm not talking about teenagers. Well, I am talking about teenagers too. Yeah, and adults. Yeah, I am. Take that back. I am talking about all of us. We've been raped. We've been abused. All right, so now, this guy, on the one hand, he was fascinating and interesting. On the other hand, he was a con man and he was evil. But I didn't know he was evil. I did not know he was evil. Just like I didn't know that James Brown was damaged, fucked up in the head, a druggie. James Brown got me smoking grass. Not that he smoked it with me, but I knew he smoked it. And then after being with him and being screwed up by him, I started smoking grass. And I couldn't break it for a year. It took me a year. And this bogey, fake yogi, helped me. He hypnotized me, as I asked him to stop smoking grass. Because I had a bad trip one day. I went to my girlfriend and visited her and her boyfriend, and they had grass, and I smoked some, and it was laced with something, and I went on a bad trip, and I was paranoid. I was really, really paranoid, and I was scared of it after that, and I asked him to, do his hypnosis on me to get me over it, and he did, and that's the only way I was able to quit grass. All these things are very dangerous. They're very, very habit-forming, very... I know grass. I'm not a big anti-grass person. I've read the reports about the good that grass does, the oil from the grass. Not smoking it isn't too good because it can hurt your throat. You can get, from smoking, throat cancer and lung cancer. But, the oil of it can heal certain maladies and problems and all kinds of good stuff. So I think that medical marijuana and people using marijuana for medical purposes can be a very, very excellent thing. Okay, so this guy had me fascinated. He believed in mind over matter. He had a very erroneous, wrong, fucked up belief. One belief. He said that God created us and went away, which is bullshit. He was not spiritual. He was not spiritual. And that we are gods. Now, we are gods, but we're not gods because God created us and went away. We are gods because God is inside of us. God lives in us. God lives in the atom, and the gene, and the neutron, the neutrino. God lives within us. And that's why we are gods. When we come to enlightenment and self-realization, and we access the God within the middle of our brain, which is a light, a blue light called the blue pearl, and we access that. It's like a pilot light, and we're born again. We light up that pilot light. We light up that light, and we become born again, or initiated. And that light then begins to grow through our chakras. It begins to light up all our chakras. And it starts from the bottom, the Muladhara, up to the top, the Sahasrara. And then we become enlightened, and we have self-realization. But he didn't know any of this. But he taught me all kinds of shit, like deep breathing, which I did every day. I began deep breathing, and self-hypnosis, and meditation, to find my godhood. And I'll explain it to you the next, to be continued.